All right. And I'm also posting this on my Facebook, so your face is not going to be there because you guys are facing the other way, but welcome. I tried to meet everybody, but it was hard. So today, well, if you haven't met me, introduce myself and Theo. If this thing works. Come on. On. There you go. Oh, first of all, thank you, your sponsors, right? So, did you guys already go and visit them?
Oh, yeah.
Did you get all your Legos?
Yeah.
Not yet? You have to, right? So these are the people who made this possible. We have an event in Merida that we do in Mexico that we do every time. It takes a lot of time and money to get an event like this. So please go and show them some love. And the most that you can, express the word about what they do and the things that they do cool. Like you said, it's one of the most amazing DevOps tools. And the form assembly is awesome because the speed to value, the things that you can do with collecting data, it's unbelievable. I have a nonprofit. You guys are going to learn about that. I'm going to be doing the closing keynote. That is not ready yet, but it will be. So hopefully you guys won't notice that tomorrow. So I use form assembly actually when we have scholarships. That was one of my former scholarship recipients, and he got his request or application on using form assembly. So it's very simple because I can just go there, and if somebody reapplies the next year, I don't have to write in code just to select, hey, this person already applied. This is an updated application. So it's very good. So please visit them. Okay. So this is me. I have changed a few things from last time you saw me. I am a special leader at Deloitte. I think it was that last year. I have now 21 certifications, and I'm still a Salesforce MVP. We'll see if that stays. I'm running into my 5th year. Yes, I have a Master in Technology, a Master in Business Administration, who nobody in America cares about. They care about the certifications. That's true. Isn't that true? We spend so much money in this country, all these problems about scholarships, and then how do we want to remove the debt of the whatever, and nobody asked me for anything. My first job, they asked me for my green card. So nobody ever asked me my master's or anything, nobody cares. And lately in the pandemic, I don't know what you guys were doing, but I decided to go and get a bachelor's in psychology. And I just finished it. Yes, thank you. I'm also a software engineer, keep forgetting about it. I have a nonprofit called Hernandez, and I am the author of a book called Soy Adulto y ¿Qué? So if you speak Spanish and want a copy, I have 3 copies with me. So first come. And
hi everyone, I am Theo, like you would like to pronounce it, it's okay. I am a software engineer, student at University of Yucatan, Universidad Autónoma de Yucatan. I am full Salesforce certified, and well, let's move on.
I didn't want to move on from you, like you're just like, chill, you're gonna run the whole show, I'm just let me get you there. See what I have to put up with this, I told you, the developers, So Theo haven't finished school yet. And he's been employed for the last 6 months.
9 months.
And he already has 4 certifications. So he started on his own, then took a class in Mexico, still haven't graduated. He's going to Larry's class this semester. We'll see if we pass him or not.
I know.
Yeah, we'll see. And what I tried to do, what we tried to do in Merida is create consultants, create people who can think out of the box and do stuff, right? We don't just teach you a specific thing, we teach you to be successful, right? And today is an example of that. Between Theo and another one of my scholarship recipients in a very, very remote site in Mantos of Mexico City. It's in Hidalgo, it's Mexico City. Hidalgo is next to Mexico City. It took us, 6 hours to get there last time. It was scary like hell. Hills, fog, rain, like it was horrible, right? We made it, but one of the kids there, that school in the mountains won all scholarships last year. And one of the kids, he was chucking corn for 200 pesos a day, which is $10 a day. And I said, I think you're wasting your time. I'll give you that money and just do something. Guess what I asked him to do? Something with virtual reality and Salesforce. So this is the result of the students. I didn't do any of this, okay? So if it goes well, I did it. But if it doesn't, they did it, okay? So that's the method, right? My name is Ty. So I'm gonna challenge Theo to do the presentation, right? He's a student, so this is gonna be a challenge for him. So he doesn't know that, so he's not gonna have to do the whole presentation. We asked for an apology. Everybody's using the internet, so we normally what we do is we have the virtual reality, and then we kind of like stream that into the computer and everything, but it's not letting us do it because of the traffic, right? So we have a video that we can show you, but who has tried virtual reality before? Okay. Who hasn't tried and wants to, I'll challenge you and we'll come here and then we'll make you try it. That works? Okay, and I'll prepare it while Theo does the speaking. Please ask him all the questions, challenge him, okay? Because this is, the father after the kids can see how they do. Okay, and Chris must be looking online. He also did a lot of the code. He's a great developer, and then soon he's also going to be looking for a job. He's about to finish college, okay? Any questions, any expectations, anybody else? I met most of you guys. Today is just a great proof of concept. One of the things I would like to challenge you now is to come up with ideas. Because it's so cool to create things like, okay, virtual reality, whatever, but what do we use it for, right? It's hard to come up with scenarios. One of the things that I would like to do eventually is to be able to do things remotely that you can do with virtual reality or something like a robot that's moving or something. I work a lot of on the energy industry, right? There's a lot of very difficult things and dangerous things that you can do remotely, right? I don't know. Well, we can do it today. Theo will tell you what was this about, and I'll go and enjoy my beer and get the virtual reality going. Here, sir. All right.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the app. Our applications offer a gamified version of Salesforce. It includes some characteristics, like for example, view contact information, merge contacts, and loading avatars. So this was a particular choice, the loading of the avatars, because we wanted the people to start seeing something which can be used to play, like for example, run and things like that. But we have to start like making little steps first. Also, we try to make it accessible from platforms like the Oculus and Android. So this is what it looks like currently. You can see, for example, the avatar, you can see the information, you can select that contact, and you can see here the buttons for accessing some functionality. So what were we looking for? The gamification tried to transform the user interaction, or at least exploring new ways in which you could just do your job, but doing it a fun way, right? So by doing this, we can enhance the engagement with the people, we can increase the productivity and the user satisfaction.
So who has an idea about something that we could make fun to do? Like with virtual reality, something very boring. What do you guys think?
Well, I'm a school bus trainer, driver
Okay.
trainer, and I think it would be fun to have people driving school bus and with virtual reality so nobody gets hurt.
Isn't that yeah, isn't that how children learn how to drive in the Big Bang Theory?
Yeah.
Anybody else?
Data entry.
Data entry, exactly. It's so boring, isn't it? And that's what we selected this, but go ahead, my friend.
Yes, here we can see also that we were trying to make the application enjoyable for things like that, like the data entry, visually appealing, enable the users to view contacts avatars for enhanced identification. So you could easily see if there is a duplicate contact and you just click and merge. Also, devices like the Oculus Quest 2 for immersive experience and combine the entertainment with the utility. So like I already mentioned, we use these tools, Salesforce. In Salesforce we can find the contact information. We will see later that there is also a URL for loading the avatar. We use the Unity engine. Ready Player Me, it's like a third-party service where you can create your own avatar and you customize it. You can create it, add your clothes, etc. And finally, the Oculus Quest that it's around here. It's there. So we decided to focus on 4 things. In the beginning, like we have no much idea of how we could present information or think on ways of making it fun. So we decided to focus on the design so we can actually work or add more functionality later. So in first step, we have the app design. We try to make the things reusable. We take care of the coupling and the cohesion. Then we try to make the Salesforce connection. We OAuth. Yes, and was the part where you could use the Salesforce REST API to just bring the contacts information.
Who of you have done, somebody says has done Unity before? Any Unity developers here? You have done before?
A little bit.
Okay. Okay, how do you get the data into Salesforce?
I don't know.
That's fine. You know, when we start looking at, sometimes when you're doing something, you go to Google and try to find things, right? We couldn't find anything. Go ahead, sir.
For some reason, I thought I'd heard about a VR AR API that Salesforce is working on, but so you're saying they haven't released it yet?
No, there's nothing official, and there's also like nothing out there that you can actually use. You know how people start building some frameworks and then some classes that you can use. Nothing. So we have to go raw in here how to get the data, right? We have an API. We do the call of the API, and we'll bring the data. Just HTTP calls. Yeah. Welcome. Come on in. Everybody's welcome. Come on. No? Okay. Go there.
Okay, so moving on, the third step is just the creation of the UI, and this can involve like anything you want. Like this is the part where you are working already on the game. We are going to see in the next slide also. And finally, loading the avatar. So this implies choosing the technology, seeing which avatar provided could be a good option, which one was going to be easier, and how the user could just load the avatar.
And this is where they have been working the most. When you're doing a program in virtual reality, the hardest thing is the animations and the graphics, right? Getting the data from Salesforce does good. When I asked them to do this, they come like after, oh, we have it, Rafa. Looks horrible. It was just like things there, like, what is this? Like, this is not fun. Like, go back and do it again, right? So they start putting avatars and things like that, right? We're nowhere near where I would like to see this app. But for me, it was good for them to kind of like think about what else can they create. And at the end, to me, it's not like to present you guys with an end product, but make these kids think about what they're doing. How can they solution problems different?
So we can see here the design overview. So I won't try to bore you with this, but let's say we can see the main functionalities in this part. We can see, for example, that there is a module that is taking care of the authentication, the avatar loader, the information loader for getting the contacts from Salesforce, and the merge utility that it's going to use to, well, we'll see that later on the demo.
And if anybody has a question, please raise your hand and interrupt there, okay? Don't be afraid of that.
One of the cool things here to watch is that in the center we can see that there is a class, and it's called ViewHandler. So this is where it comes the part of the coupling, because if you wanted to change our game, you could actually do it. You just have to change this only class, and you would have already for example, the functionality for making the authentication, the avatar loading, the information loading. So it's the couple. We can see also that we have the entities. So there was an easy way to just start adding more entities as you need it, and start loading all that information and extending the functionality of the game. Here's a little explanation of how the OAuth works.
And his English authorization is with S, not with Z here, okay?
Yes, so this is a little bit of the workflow that is done. We have the game, which is the client. We are going to make a request to an authorization server, and this is going to give us the credentials so we can start getting the data from Salesforce. Once we have the authorization and it's returned to the client, we're going to use the APIs. That means just bringing the information from the resource server. And in this case, it's our organization, or Salesforce organization.
So, what my manager of developers, what do you think the kid did on the first try of this?
Failed.
They hard-coded the user and password. Right? And then,
there is a story for that.
There's a story for everything, yeah. So this is very important, right? Those who are on the path for CTAs, the authorization flows are a big thing, right? Something that they're gonna grill you, they're gonna make you draw that on the whiteboard when you're on the CTA panel, where you need to know all the authentication flows, right? Are you guys familiar with the OAuth flow? which is one of the best, right? When you have a client, you make the person who's logging in input their credentials in real life, and then you get a token authorization that is good from whatever time you decide, and then move on, right? There are other ways that we could have done this. The other one is where we have, what is it called? When you have a device and then you have a device authentication where you actually can have the device and then you go to another screen, authenticate there, and the device comes, right? That's what happens with Netflix when we're doing the, TV8.
MFA.
MFA, yeah. Thank you. So, no hard coding user and passwords.
Okay. So we're going to see just a little bit of code, just a general idea of what does each class. Here we can see the authenticator. So we can see that we are going to make a request to Salesforce, and we are going to have an out token. So each time we try to get information from Salesforce, we are going to use this out token. So we are going to make a post request to that out URL, and we are going to create the body. So big part of all these details are hidden, but this is just to make you have an idea. So after you make the authentication, you can move to the info loader. So here we can see, for example, that we are going to get records. So we are going to pass a query. And this is a SOQL query. And we did it in this way because in the first place, we didn't know what kind of information we want to manage. So we were just trying to make it really flexible. So when we were writing this class, we tried to just pass a query and try to get the information we want quickly. Obviously, you won't use this in user input because that's going to give you a security problem.
So, if you guys can see, this is what I was telling you. There is not a framework that we can use right now that somebody built. So Theo is actually going directly and grabbing the version 56 of the API to run a query, right? I don't know if he actually did that piece of the security there on purpose, but if you notice, he's escaping out the URL, so nobody goes and try to inject something. You guys notice that part? So was that on purpose, or you copy and paste that one?
No, yes, that was on purpose.
I like to mess with that, right? Of course. And if you notice, he goes and grabs the authentication token and then passes as a bearer token for the authentication. And then that's the URL. Look at that, Hernandez. You can Google it and donate how much money as you want. It doesn't have any limit in there, okay? You take everything, Bitcoin, whatever you guys have.
Okay.
Gold coins.
So we have covered the authentication and the requesting for information. So here we can see what we are requesting here. It's a contact. So here we have that it's a system serializable class, and that means that you can convert it to JSON and to a native data type in C#. But the way this is C# because we are using Unity. So the language in which it's built, Unity, is C#. But it's really similar to Apex if you have used it. Yes, and we can see here, for example, the utility for converting that contact into JSON and vice versa. Finally, we have the view handler, which is going to make the use of all the other classes. So, for example, we can see that we are making a query in the info loader. We are getting the ID, the name, the email, the phone, and the avatar URL from Salesforce. And we are ordering by name. We are getting all that information in JSON format, and we are transforming it into contacts, into a native data type. And then we are just filling the contact card that you will see. That is the view of the application.
Hey, Professor Larry, if you see a mistake in the code, please don't hesitate to mention it, okay?
I'll make sure it's.
Thank you, sir.
It'll go on his future grade.
Oh.
And this is the part of the card that it's on this method. It's fill contact card, and we are going to fill it with the current record that it's been showed, or the first one that has loaded into the game. And this is what it looks like. So now let's move on to a more fun part, and this is the part where you load your avatar. So with ReadyPlayer.me tool, you can create the custom avatar you want. You are going to receive a URL once you have done creating your avatar, and you are going to save this URL in the contact in Salesforce. So we can see here the UI. You're going to customize it. And once you have the URL, you just put it in a Salesforce field.
This was so cool. For those who are hopefully going to go to the closing and speak now, the guy who's going to speak there is going to talk about the power of helping other people, right? So if you see, I was helping other people to do something like that, and by consequence, I learned about this crap. This is awesome that you can get an avatar from a URL and put it there, right? And then when they first did this thing, it was just some boxes, and I said, I want something else. I want a person there handing and say, look, I'm a duplicate. This is me, right? Merge me or something, right? And they come out with this idea, which I thought was great.
So is that just a field, a URL field that you put there?
Yes, you just put the URL field, and it's going to be loaded in the game.
Isn't that fantastic? And they didn't hard code the URL.
Finally, we are going to see the last functionality that we have in the game, that it's for merging contacts. So I couldn't find in the REST API a native way to make the merge of contacts through the REST API in Salesforce. So we had to use, we created an endpoint, and this is a point of connection to Salesforce for those who are not familiarized with that term. So here it's saying that, okay, from the client we are going to, the game, we are going to receive contacts. We are going to have contacts that are going to be merged, and we have a master contact. So the information in the master contact is the one that will be preserved for avoiding duplicates. So we are going to try to merge the master contact with the contacts to be merged. And if there is an error while trying to merging those contacts, we are going to return the error that was raised.
So this is an Apex class.
Yes, this is an Apex class.
It's an Apex class that is exposed, so you can hit it from anywhere. Okay?
And here are the instructions for making that merge.
Oh, you have a user manual.
Yes.
Look at that.
It's cool. We are going to select the contacts, and the first one that you select is going to be the master one. And then you are going to select after that one the ones that are going to be merged, the duplicates, and you are going to press the merge button. And you will see a successful merge message. And if you see the slide, here we have 13 contacts, so it will be diminished to 12. So now we are going to talk about the project challenges. And the first one was integrating with Salesforce, because we were trying to figure out if there was tools already provided by Salesforce in order to do all the functionality. And also we were trying to figure out if the Unity tools were good to make a request for information to Salesforce, or if we were going to couple things, or maybe there were better libraries for doing this stuff in C#. There was also a problem when trying to load information, because I don't know if you are familiarized with the threads in coding.
The new application that replacing Twitter?
No. Well, I don't know. Raise the hand if you have heard about threads in coding. So threads is for making two things execute at the same time in a parallel way. So when we were doing this, we were trying to execute the UI, and at the same time we were trying to load the information. So when this information came back, there wasn't a way to show in the main routine, it's called the main coroutine, if there was an error when we were trying to load information. So there we work on some workarounds, and it finally worked. And that's why you see the successful merge message in the top.
I've never seen that word, coroutines. What the heck is that?
Coroutines.
Oh, I don't know even how to say it. Somebody show me how to pronounce it.
Co-routines.
Yeah, what the heck is that?
That's doing something at the same time.
Oh, thank you. I learned something. Thank you. Dale, do you know what that means?
Yes, I know.
He's a true consultant.
We also take design considerations, because this I already mentioned to you. We were trying to make the things the less coupled possible and have a good cohesion. And the UI design for the Oculus. And this keeps being a trouble, because we were trying to load many things in the UI from the Oculus, but some of them are not designed for making for being used in a virtual environment. So they some of them have to be well, we have to make a workaround there in order to make it work.
He went to bed at 2 a.m. trying to make it work, FYI, right? And then he has the courage to go and wake me up because he locked the laptop. He didn't give him the oh, sorry, I wasn't sleeping. I was looking at him and I fell asleep a little bit. But yeah, so but we couldn't make it work. But you know, I have an idea for this, Larry. I will announce it at the end of the conference, at the end of this speak. So.
Finally, the feature enhancements. And this part is where there are many things that can be done with the thing that we have just created. You could add more functionality, and even I was thinking on a way to just take a contact and throw it away and that merge it with another context, but well, that's kind of difficult. So yes, there are some of the things that we can do to enhance the functionality. Also extend Salesforce module integration, gamification to include standard objects, more standard objects, custom objects, enable real-time notifications to see if there was a change in a contact and then you're trying to update it in the game, so there won't be troubles. Also, considering a trailhead integration might be a possibility also. And now let's going to see.
That's a good idea. Let's make a trailhead of virtual reality.
Yes.
I'll talk to that. Okay. So set it up, please, and then we'll get a volunteer who has never done virtual reality and is not prone to seizures. You're prone to seizures. You want to try it?
I just walked in late, so I figured.
Oh, you will do it, right?
Pay my penance.
Environment. We'll have somebody to try it. And this is the point where I was trying to put it there, but we couldn't. We have a video, but for the rest to see it, we'll try to make some of you, we have enough time to, everybody can have a try at it, okay? Well, he does it. Larry, what about we make this this semester's project, like fully vetted and functional? So imagine this, right? Like there's a lot of boring things. I hate to do boring stuff, like the duplication. Who doesn't have duplicate data on their org? And then some big Fortune 100 has like hundreds of records that are duplicate, right? Imagine hiring a bunch of people for $8 an hour who says, hey, your job is to play, and then start merging contacts with a virtual reality, right? I'll hire a bunch of students, they will make the money out of that, right? And then you start deduplicating as long as you have like a lock or whatever. Of course, there's implications, but I think there's something there, okay? And if you guys want a copy of this code, let us know. We'll give you access to the repository. You can take it from there, right? Last time when we first started doing things, if you were at Dreamforce, when we had the first football table with IoT, that was my idea. And then people started doing, basketballs and more teams. So I challenge you guys to come up with ideas and take these and take it to the next level and maybe submit for Forcelandia next year. Yeah. You can be the next speaker, okay? So any question about that, I'll get that and we get a few guinea pigs here to try it. Any questions, comments, experience?
Just curious if you guys had any discussions about data visualization walkthroughs, things like that. You do everything from, somebody was mentioning, you were talking about energy earlier, you're just walking through merging the data points with like a warehouse.
Yes.
Or a production facility for fuels. So, instead of having to go around and look, you're going around, you're seeing the data overlaid with the different, say, valves and processing points in a fuel processing facility.
No, and I hear you. I mean, I can think about that. Like I think about Amazon and the big warehouses, right? And then you can just have your virtual reality and allegedly walk there, and then you have the whole map loaded into the virtual reality, and then you can see where things are, and maybe have a robot that goes and get it, or I don't know. There's many applications, but that's when things get like complicated. Right now, we have to put more students like Teo that I can brag enough for them to do these things.
How will they have APIs where Salesforce doesn't?
I think we have a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
Side.
And then we can make fun of Teo. Didn't people look funny when they were doing these things? I have a terrible experience. Should I say it or not? With the virtual reality. Oh God, shall I say?
If it's inappropriate, the answer is no. You should
It's about cross-eyeing. Is that very inappropriate?
cross-eyed. I don't think it's inappropriate.
Okay, so many years ago, when this first thing came, okay, I went to GameStop. And then I saw a person like Teo doing that, right? And that person was trying to show and showcase. I was trying to do it too, but he takes the things off, and that person has cross eyes and said, "You want to try it?" And I'm like, I don't know. I'm sorry, it's a bad joke.
It didn't
Ready?
cause it.
I'm like, yeah, I was like, wait, did that just happen? Or like, is that one of the side effects? Because they make you sign a waiver, right? So like, I was like, okay. So who wants to try it? Let's do it. Go ahead, Teo.
Let's murder some records.
Yeah. So you can describe what you're seeing, please, and then Teo's gonna walk you through since we cannot see it there. Or Teo, you may also, do we have the video here, Teo, that we can start playing for them to see what actually is seeing? Yeah.
Okay, so we're definitely in the metaverse because I have no legs. Hold on, I'm reaching for something that's not here. What is this? I see a controller floating out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's the Teo's.
Okay. Okay.
With your hand.
All right.
So
Okay.
in here, and wait with us. What's your name?
So I see a contact here. Her
Blake?
name's Charlotte. I see her account, her email, and her phone number, and I have a UI. It says I can move next, previous and next.
Nice. You
So-
can do whatever you want, Blake. This is your world.
So I have the option to merge here, but what am I merging?
Teo, explain to him. There you go.
Yes, I think I will. What you are seeing is that there is a select checkbox in the upper of the card, in the top of the card.
Okay.
Everybody can see it but
Am I
you.
hitting the right button here? I'm trying to check it.
And yes, it's with the.
I'm using the trigger.
Just press everything. We actually paying you for QA quality here, control.
It's not the trigger, by the way. It's this button. Just
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so I'm selecting Charlotte here. And by the way, this is really pretty in here. There's palm trees.
Thank you. I didn't brush my hair, but
There's some hot air balloons and whatnot.
yeah.
And okay.
And you have never done it before?
I've done this once before. Okay.
Okay.
So now I got another contact here. And the question is, can I pull this out into another window? Because that'd be cool. See if
Oh, now we're getting requests.
her name is Eli Demi Dawn. She has no phone number, so I'm not going to merge her.
Were you gonna call her?
Of course. She's good looking. All right. None of these guys. Okay, this guy's got a phone number.
Are you gonna call him?
Of course. Well, no, I'm only merging complete records here. You know, we're good data hygiene here. So I've selected 2. I'm going to hit merge. And apparently I just successfully merged them, and now I have 8 contacts instead of 9.
Woo! We didn't pay him, okay? We don't know him. So who has never done virtual reality? Somebody, raise, who hasn't not done it? Who wants to do it? Come on. Come on.
That was cool. Somebody should do this. Go do it.
Thank you, Blake. Theo? She's up now. Yes.
Literally never done video.
Okay. You're not prompt to seizures, right? Do you have the?
Just don't look to the right. You won't have any legs. It's a little
Do we have the waivers handy, Theo?
Oh my god. Oh, there they are. Okay. Do I have them in the wrong hand?
By the way, my wife gifted me this for my birthday or Christmas or something. This is the first time I really. Thank you, wife. Appreciate it.
Oh my gosh, it is pretty. Oh, wow. Sorry.
Are you looking at me?
Yes, dear.
Thank you.
Okay.
So describe what you're seeing and what you're happening. See if it's the same as Blake.
Okay, well, I see a contact for Charlotte Taylor,
Yeah.
Taylor household.
Is she really cute, like Blake was saying, or no?
She's got nice hair.
Okay.
Okay, so then now what?
You can move around, move the context.
Click next.
Oh, there we go.
you go. Come on, you're next. Monty, have you done it before? I think you should try it. Yes.
Yes.
This one?
It reminded me of that scene in like Minority Report. You know?
Yeah, I have the teams, yeah.
You know?
Okay, so
All the different records. That was
pushing
pretty
next,
cool.
but it's not doing.
But imagine that you can have all the Salesforce records, right?
Is that connected to
One of
that?
the 8.
It is, but it wouldn't work because it passes so much data that the Wi-Fi is not able to get it with all of us connected to it.
Okay,
Yes.
so that's not standalone right now.
Yes, that's standalone right now. So that one in particular, the Oculus just can run on the on. It's very fast, so I like it. And it's right now it's $299 because they launched the new one, so it's fairly cheap.
Was this the 2 or the 1?
This is the Oculus 2. Yeah.
Are you gonna build it for the new Apple one?
It depends if
Well,
I find
I
new
mean,
kids that I can pull enough to do it. Huh?
Except incoming calls?
Incoming calls, like API calls requests?
No, like actual phone calls,
Like call center.
right? Because if you think
See, this is why you don't let people who've never done it before do it.
No, that's the best part. So we are gonna have Monty do it. Monty, come on. Yes. Come on, Monty. Yes, come on. Come on, Monty. Theo, give a chance to Monty. Come on. Let's go. I'll walk you there, Monty. Come on. Yes, you can. Come on. Don't look at John. John is not gonna save you. Come on. Come on, Monty.
you take calls in the office,
Oh, was it?
The what?
you take calls and phone calls.
Well, I don't know, but that's a good thing. What were you thinking?
Well, back in 2012, I was working on an internal Salesforce gamification application, and we were trying to gamify cases and support requests, right? And our thinking around it was, you know, there's SLAs for certain priorities,
Yeah.
and what we were going to do was have like a zombie, like a zombie created.
Yeah.
The closer it got to like an SLA, right? But then we were going to bubble everything up to a TV monitor.
Okay.
So that people, as cases got resolved, were killing zombies.
Oh, nice.
Right? And then the award would be how many zombies did you kill? So that's essentially we were thinking that. But with this,
What is the teacher? The developer teacher, where did he go? That's a great idea. I think we should do something.
Something like this.
Yeah.
You could have a call team.
Yeah.
All working together.
And you can see them next to you too.
Yeah, working on cases, and then, you know, as a team, as they work on these cases, they solve or save the island or something like that.
Yeah.
Right? At the end of the call shift, based on the number of calls, tickets, and things that they get resolved.
I think that's a great idea. I think we should look at it.
I'll invest.
So describe what you're seeing. How does it feel to be in another world?
It feels wonderful.
Yeah? Is that world better than the one that you were 5 minutes ago?
I think I prefer reality.
Yeah? So what are you seeing?
I see Charlotte Taylor.
Okay. What about the hair? See, really, like, people are bragging about her hair.
Oh, she's beautiful.
Okay. So, you did a good job, Theo. Like the Neo, like, you know, like looking at that.
Okay, why is it not letting me select?
This could be a good customer service.
That's what he was saying. Like,
You
we
can have the
could,
avatars move.
yeah.
Like the grandmother does the mood of the, like as they're talking, you can have the mood make a scowl and be actually be happy.
Maybe you have to press it like quickly, maybe.
So here's the thing, if you're gonna sit and go through a whole bunch of data, you're only sit with that thing
I
on
know.
your face for that long.
Yes. But it would be great that you can move the data manipulator, right? I mean, how can we do that? This is just so much fun, guys. I'm just doing it for the fun of it.
I would totally work like that.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's like,
The next that work.
Now, if you can put it some exercising in between.
there
some
are
exercise
actually.
movie.
Actually, my wife said that she bought it for me to play, but only put some exercising games on there. So I don't know. That was something that she was hinting me, but it's actually a great workout thing, right? The only problem is if you have cats. Give an applause to her. She tried it, right? Thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. So let's just wrapping it up, Theo. You know, like, I mean, you can do a lot of things, right? To me, it was just a way to make students learn something new and learn skills of, you know, trying to come up with new things, right? I think there's a lot of potential that we can do. So the code is there. They wrote it. If you guys need it, just please reach out to us. I don't know if did we put our information there?
Nope.
the heck, Theo?
But
It's not working?
now it was fine, but
Anyways, if you're interested, let's connect. So, Larry, he has an idea about like gamifying this, where we're doing case handling, right? And then you get points and killing zombies or something. So I think what you make them is taking your class next semester. So he can lead the development team to come up with something, and maybe we can present it again next year.
I like the whole leading thing, that's less for me to do.
You're the teacher. You're not supposed to do anything. I keep telling you for 3 years. You don't listen to me, okay? Have I done something today? But it looks like I did, right? See? My true consultant. So this is just a prototype. This is a proof of concept thing that we can do with Salesforce. One of the other things that it proves is that when I go to the universities, and you're going to see that on the keynote, people say, well, Salesforce is a box, a black box. You cannot do anything. Come on. You can do so many things, right? I connected the football table, I connected a musical instrument, if you know me. Now we have virtual reality. We can do whatever we want, right? So up to your imagination or skills to do it. So anyways, I appreciate it. This is mostly the work of Theo and Chris, probably hopefully is listening online. I appreciate Forcelandia for letting us just come and do something crazy. Thank you very much. And if you guys have any questions, we'll welcome them now.
You
Exactly.
I want to be able to see a schema.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
That's in 2D, imagine you could do them in 3D.
That's another idea. Yes.
All right, get on.
Right there, next
Yeah.
year.
I hate schema guys.
Yeah.
They're so hard to read.
Anyways, Theo and I are going to be at the bar. If you guys want to come and connect. Just because we cannot get you all in the speaker room, that's why we're going to be there. It happens to be alcohol there, so it's just a coincidence. But if not, if any of you also want to talk about career paths, MVP programs, how to help other people and anything, I'm here for you guys, okay? Thank you very much. Say goodbye to everybody, Theo.
bye.